Part of the reason why I left New York is because I knew that if I got into one of those situations again,
Yeah.
I'm getting out of the car. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how many 5-year-olds can I kick at once?
We made it. Episode 2. We got a hockey legend coming on the show today. Yeah, my buddy Sean Avery's calling in. This guy's basically the Canadian version of me. He sort of does what I do in my videos, but in real life. He basically confronts all the dredges of our society and holds them accountable. You know, like this guy trying to piss in the street.
Yo, I'm telling you, don't piss there. Okay, try it. Try it. Piss there. Piss there. I dare you. I dare you.
And you got this guy taking over both sides of the street with the biggest pile of garbage you've ever seen.
Bro, are you kidding me? What's going on here? None of my business. Don't give me that mean mug. Don't give me that mean mug. I'm not taking that mean mug.
Then you got the people who park in the bike lane. You know, all the people who just do whatever they want for their own convenience, who could care less about burdening others.
Well, aren't you a stupid fuck? You're a lazy fuck, and you're a stupid fuck. I don't understand why you just can't move the fucking truck over, you dumb fuck. You're just ignorant, too. I'm gonna come over to your house, I'm gonna take a shit on your lawn.
The great thing about him is he's like a full-on Hollywood actor now, but he still doesn't give a fuck. And he doesn't do phony shit. He's not one of these guys.
I take responsibility.
I can't believe Aaron Paul did that. You know how heartbreaking that is, considering Breaking Bad was one of my favorite shows of all time? It's just so disingenuous. Anyway, Sean will be coming on the show later. I gotta give a shout out to my sponsor who actually hooked me up with this really good hot sauce. How could you go wrong with something named Joey's hot sauce? I mean, come on. This stuff is awesome. No sugar, no bullshit in it like the others. Joey actually started making this hot sauce for his wife because she couldn't have sugar. That's a hot sauce love story right there, my friends. This guy's sweating his balls off making this in the kitchen, and he's not cheaping out like the rest of them who use vinegar. This stuff is made predominantly with pepper, so it's all about the flavor. I've been using this stuff on everything. It's great. Support small businesses, guys, because as we all know, they're really getting shafted right now. Go to joeyshotsauce.com and use my code JOEY20 to get 20% off the entire site. And remember, when you use Joey's, you're part of the family. I still can't believe we made it to episode 2. I thought I'd be banned by now. What episode you think the show will be banned? Somebody should start a betting pool, because you know it's coming. Nearly every social media account I have is on the verge of termination. And what is it I really do? Promote societal standards? Wow. Funny how that violates their standards. Meanwhile, right before the show started, I saw Border Patrol footage on Facebook of a guy getting decapitated. He plowed through the Mexican border and hit a guardrail that ripped the roof of his car and his head clean off. Yeah, come join the Facebook community. Baby pictures and decapitations. That should be their slogan. Community standards. What kind of community is that? Yeah, meanwhile, I'm the problem. I don't even know why I have a page on there. Why do I contribute? You know, I posted a video of an Antifa member holding a knife, threatening the entire city of Portland from his apartment. Check this out.
I'm not welcomed in Portland, Oregon. Well, welcome to my apartment, and it's in Portland. So, fight me if you want to bring a fight over this, okay? Bye!
So I repost this with the caption, if you're having a bad day, just remember, this mammal is lurking on the other side of someone's wall right now. Facebook immediately takes it down due to bullying. Yeah, I bullied a guy who threatened an entire city with a knife by calling him a mammal. I'm a mammal. You're a mammal. I mean, what planet are these people on? Imagine if Facebook ran a country. Imagine if they ran America. Yeah, it would just become Skid Row or Chaz. They would just arrest all the normal people for having a problem with all the dysfunctional people. Yeah, all the nut jobs. They would take over, and they'd let them. Maybe I should start twerking and join Antifa. That might put me in their good graces again. I mean, just look at the guy who runs Facebook. Could anyone look more like the shell of a human being? Look up old footage of him on TV when he was just starting out. You'll see. Yeah, all the life he had in him. Look at it.
When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people. Harvard didn't have a Facebook, so that's the gap that we were trying to fill. And now we're at 100,000 people, so who knows where we're going next.
He just looked like an ambitious kid trying to get his little idea off the ground. Yeah, all of that's gone now. What happened to that guy? He looks like a test model for an AI waiter. Like, I could see him rolling towards your table at a restaurant on wheels like, "Hello, sir. Welcome to our restaurant. We have a few community guidelines to go over before we take your order. First, you must not criticize our food in any way, or you will receive a strike which will ban you from ordering dessert. If you criticize our restaurant in any way online, you will be banned from our establishment. Thank you." Folks, Mark Zuckerberg has been taken. The soul has been removed. I can't stand these people. Community standards. I'm the one with the standards, okay? Anyway, that's the theme of today's show. Standards. Real standards. Unbelievable. So I just discovered these videos of people filming themselves eating dinner. I made an entire video on it. If you missed it, they call themselves mukbangers. Yeah, I call them slobs. Oh no, what am I going to get canceled now? Funny how if you call people what they are today, somehow you're the problem. Yeah, let's all rewrite reality and play pretend so we don't hurt the feelings of people actively killing themselves. I mean, I'm looking at a guy right now eating $150 worth of Domino's, which is basically the formula for cardiac arrest. And I'm supposed to sit here and go, "Oh, look, another fine fellow American enjoying his dinner.
I love cheese."
No, he's not fine. And that's not dinner. That's a banquet that could kill a horse. I'm sure he has family members who are concerned, right? No, but we're not supposed to be. No, we're supposed to defend the behavior and pretend it's okay. You know, all you people who follow this guy and praise him are literally enabling his next hospital visit. If this country was right side up, YouTube would ban all of you. You know, there is something positive I want to point out about this. After going down the mukbang rabbit shithole, somehow I got recommended a video that was entirely unrelated. It was of a girl performing a cover of Dragon Force. This is like one of the most difficult guitar solos. Here's a clip. I look at her subscriber list. She's only got 400 subs. Meanwhile, these mukbang dopes, they got millions of subscribers. Society is literally more interested in watching someone eat cheese. I mean, obviously something's wrong here. So what I did was I ended up sharing her guitar solo and her page blew up. That made me so happy because the fact you guys showed her that kind of love, I mean, you know, let me put it to you this way. I really want to do more of that. You know why? Because I think when people see side by side the contrast between worthless content and inspiring content, it makes you appreciate the inspiring content a bit more. But you know, I see this so much. People twerking, people eating, TikTok dances that anyone can do, lip syncing songs. I mean, anybody can do this stuff. And they always have more views and a bigger following than people who are showcasing a craft that took time and effort. And I'm thinking there's got to be a reason for this. I want to play a message I got from Bradley over at the Tasteless Gentleman podcast. He brought up a really interesting point. I'll play it.
All right, so bear with me here because I've never sent a random video to anyone on the interwebs, especially someone I don't know personally. But that's neither here nor there. The reason why I'm creating this is essentially because I felt the need to comment on your post from earlier today. It got me thinking, why as human beings, why as a species are we so drawn to these things that are essentially nothing? You know, like eating a strawberry. Dude has what, 10.2 million subscribers, versus here you have a girl who's clearly exceptionally talented and gifted and probably busted her ass to get to that level of, guitar playing, and nobody cares. And I was wondering why, because that's been the case for years and it's gotten worse and worse. And I realized that it's because people, human beings, look at these individuals who are essentially just like them. Like, oh, this guy eats. I eat too. Look at this. He's making, 6-7 figures a year eating food on the internet. I could eat food on the internet. Or, they see people in reality TV shows, for example, just being themselves, and these people are, famous. They've made it. So I think human beings tend to look at those individuals with the mentality of, oh, I could also do that, and therefore I could also be famous, as opposed to seeing that girl playing the guitar and thinking to themselves, that looks really hard. That's going to take me decades to learn. I don't want to do that. Human beings are always drawn to the most simplistic and the easiest tasks. What's comfortable. People hate going out of their comfort zone. And intelligence and talent, I hate to say it, it's out of most people's comfort zones. So congratulations, that's where we fucking arrived in 2020 going into 2021. Eating food on the internet as talent. Thanks, Joey.
Yeah, I thought a lot about this, and I agree with a lot of what you said. And let me add to it. I think that there's a lot of people out there who it makes them feel bad about themselves. And I'm not saying it's everybody. It's almost as if like they see that and they go, well, what do I have to offer? Like it's like they kind of just like push that out of their mind and out of their memory. Let me just put it this way. I want to say something to those people, because I believe that everybody has something in them that they can do better than somebody else. I truly believe we're all artists. I mean, look around you. We built all of this, right? We're creative, from the roads. Who knew how to do that? The houses, everything that we use, right? We're all creative in our own way, and I think that there's a lot of people that don't actually tap into their potential and look at what it is that they're good at. I really believe everybody is good at something that, like, I can't do, you can't do. I mean, like, isn't it kind of how civilization was built in a way? Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I could go on forever about that, but I think it's an interesting topic because we're just seeing it so much, and what's popular, versus what's not. I mean, we used to celebrate talent. I mean, Jesus, look at the top Billboard charts, it's like. Anyway, so let's go to some more questions and emails here. What do we got here? Okay, this message is from Mariana. I have a question for you. I've seen these mourning TikToks where people mourn their loved ones. For example, a crying girl sits near an empty chair, and in the next photo is a picture of her and her dead grandma on the same spot. I got a bad feeling when I saw that, like they're exploiting the death of their loved ones for likes. I can't imagine me making a TikTok if somebody close to me died. Am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. Again, these are people who just haven't tapped into their potential. It's like, and it's just gotten to that level. And the problem is that if you go on that page, most people are enabling them. They're cheering them on. They're going, "Oh, wow, that's beautiful." It's like they just don't get it, man. It's becoming a culture. It's just, I seen on TikTok recently girls pretending that they're domestic abuse victims. Yeah. No, really. I mean, like, they'll make themselves up to look like they were beaten. And then you go in the comments there and nobody sees anything wrong with it. Maybe like one person will be like, what the fuck? And then they'll just gang up on them and like make them out to be the bad guy. Like I said, it's upside down world, man. This is why I'm all about standards. We gotta we gotta address this stuff. It's just like it's becoming like the Wild West of idiocy right now. I mean, what are you gonna do, man? What else we got? Okay, this one's from Dan Weller. Would love to hear your thoughts on this guy. Clearly a talent, yet clearly an annoying cunt. All right, first off, the guy's talented, okay? I'm not going to take that away from. But number two, I don't think I could ever be friends with that guy. I feel like he'd be the type of guy that would just show up at like 6 in the morning outside of your window and be like, I got an idea. Okay, this is what we do. You film me. I'm going to jump on the piano. I'm going to do a backflip. And it's like, dude, I can't. There's no way I could keep up with that energy. You know, I see. I'm kind of like I like the slow lane on the freeway. You know, I like to just kind of. I'm not in a rush. You know, it's just sometimes I just don't sync up with that kind of energy. I'm not taking anything away from him. It's just I think we're just different people. You know, that's as far as I go with that. My next guest is a former New York Ranger, one of the baddest dudes to ever play in the NHL. He's an actor, podcaster, and a guy who just doesn't take any shit. You could catch him on his podcast, No Gruffs Given. My new buddy, Sean Avery. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Good. I gotta marvel at. I know we had preliminary conversations about how you were gonna figure out how to fucking tweak this whole thing together, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how you did it. It looks good.
Dude, I almost lost hope, dude, because I'm not as tech savvy, you know. But I got to ask you, though, right off the bat, did you watch any of the Times Square New Year's Eve ball drop special on TV?
Oh yeah, which one? Which
Oh,
one?
any of them. The one in New York. It was the saddest thing I ever seen in my life. No
Yeah,
one
yeah.
was there except for police and like a select amount of people in little gated barnyard stables. It was
What
pathetic.
what was even worse was the fucking rose what's the Rose Ball or the Rose Parade?
Yeah, I didn't see
That
that.
that was today. So these networks, like it's amazing how desperate. I guess they have to keep, they got to keep the train on the tracks, right?
Right.
And it's so fucking cheesy what they're doing. Whoever's trying to fix what's happening, like just call it. Just put on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to see fucking Megan Trainor singing at Disneyland with
Yeah.
Julianne Hough and all the bullshit and them interviewing each other with the masks on fucking 6 feet away. Like they got tested,
Right.
okay? The masks are all bullshit. They fucking obviously got tested, otherwise they wouldn't be at Disneyland. Like the whole thing's a fucking joke.
You know, they even resorted to interviewing balloons, like those goofy dancing balloons they have at the car dealership. I
Yeah,
watched this host tried to make a skit out of pretending to talk to it, and then 20 minutes later, they did it again as if they just ran out of people to talk to. It
yeah,
was like the producers in his ear, like, oh, well, there's nothing going on. I mean, you might as well just do the skit all over again. And they try to make it seem like they're having so much fun, like it's the place to be. It's like it's
yeah.
a lie. Like this isn't fun. You're not even allowed to be there. And you know who else was there? Your buddy, the mayor, De Blasio. Did you see
Oh
him?
yeah,
He was dancing front and center on
yeah.
stage as the ball drops. Now, this is the same guy who would have had you arrested for doing the same exact thing he's doing.
No,
It's
no, that I saw this week. So now these fucking kids on BMX bikes or those big wheelers, there's just mobs of kids. They drive through the city, they're jumping on people's
I
windshields,
saw that
they're
actually.
caving like
Yeah.
so I have run into these kids before, right? Like, you don't know when they're coming.
Yeah.
And there's a mob of them. There's 50 of them.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I left New York is because I knew that if I got into one of those situations again,
Yeah.
I'm getting out of the car, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how many fucking 5-year-olds can I shit kick at once? Well, how many 14-year-olds can I shit kick before it's like they overtake me.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. And then if one of them shanks me, like it's a little bit more 5-year-olds versus 14-year-olds.
Right.
You got to think. So I said, fuck it. I'm out of that. And this fucking tone deaf de Blasio,
Yeah.
like these people, does he really think that anyone in New York City wanted to see him dancing on New Year's Eve?
No,
Like,
no.
no
It's
one.
insulting. And you know what I would like to see? I would like to see a pay-per-view special where they just bring these mayors and governors one by one into a room with you and just the table and a microphone and you just fucking let them have it. I would pay over $100 easy to watch that. Like a gauntlet of like public shaming, you know?
Yeah, I would rather fight Jake Paul than do that. But
I heard you
that,
talking about him actually on one of the last podcast appearances, and I love what you said because this guy's flexing in the ring after beating a basketball player who never wore boxing gloves in his life, and he's acting like he's the ultimate warrior all of a sudden.
yeah,
It's incredible.
This kid's gonna fight Conor McGregor. He thinks he's
Oh,
gonna fight
jeez.
fucking Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
These guys are gonna break this kid.
Yeah.
That's what. Like at a certain point, you have to be realistic. Like, okay, I'm gonna make. It might be the biggest pay-per-view event of all time because half the people want to see you get killed, and the other half want to see maybe he's gonna surprise us. Conor McGregor
Yeah.
will break fucking Jake Paul's face.
Oh,
Not,
yeah.
it's not like a
Gladly.
it's a dangerous situation for this kid. But this is the same kid that sits in bed and takes videos where he's shit talking somebody else. He's
Yeah.
got his shirt off and his mom's in bed beside him. Like that alone in my mind is so fucking I've never been in a bed with my shirt off with my mother past the age of 11 years old.
Right. Same.
Maybe 10. I don't
Yeah,
know. When was
yeah.
the last time you were in bed with your mom with your shirt off?
I don't even think I was able to retain memories. I think I was just a little boy. And it's like I understand. I mean, I'd hope that he's just a character because what he's doing is not really something to be proud of.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
It's crazy, man. Now what I want to ask you, because I know that you recently moved to LA, which is an entirely different planet than New York. New Yorkers are, for the most part, pretty honest and outspoken in public like you are. And let me tell you, I've seen videos of you patrolling the streets in New York and calling people right out on their bullshit, and I fucking love it. That is my favorite thing that you do. It's like a pastime of mine to watch this shit. I watched a video of a guy standing right in front of a subway entrance, just standing there with his bike looking at the sky, and nobody could get past him. And you're just like, dude, do you know what you're doing right now? You're blocking the fucking entrance. No one can get past you. How do you not know this? You see, but you made a difference. You spoke up, he moved his bike, and now you made the day better for everyone who needed to get on that subway line.
People can't walk down to the subway. I know. But people can't walk down to the subway. Are you going to the world's dumbest person convention? Is that where you're going? Oh, the world's dumbest person convention? Sphincter says what? All right. God bless, bro.
I love it.
The problem is even New Yorkers have lost their nerve collectively. Like they don't, New York 10 years ago, everyone would would rally around calling out stupidity.
Not
now,
anymore, huh?
It's a free for all. Everyone's afraid. They're afraid to be a racist. They're afraid to be a Karen. They're afraid they just fucking hide. People just hide now.
It changed, yeah, and I haven't lived in New York in 10, 11, 12 years, so that's what I'm hearing a lot of, like, it changed. Because I grew up with the honesty, like, people back home, they didn't let you get away with anything that burdens other people. I love that. It's like there's a community standard that was being upheld, and it's effective. You literally think twice about what you do because you don't want to be scolded like a little bitch. I support public shaming. I do. But see, now, go ahead.
There's a guy out here. He's got an Instagram called Narc Carts. Have you ever seen it?
Oh, no. I got to look that up.
Yeah, this guy, basically, he goes around and, because California is very isolating. Like, you can go days without seeing anyone. I mean, you could get everything delivered. Like, but it's 80 degrees and it's sunny, so there's a bit
Right.
of a, you got a little bit of a some leeway there.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this dude called Narc Carts. That's his Instagram,
Yeah.
and he walks around and he slaps bumper stickers on people's cars that don't put their carts away, and he
We
gets
need that guy.
yeah, this guy, but he's like, he's not aggressive enough. He's just he's too much of a nerd. It's a
Right.
fun watch though. You'll go down a sinkhole.
Oh, I love
Uh,
that stuff, man. See,
but
guys like us
that's
are like considered like fucking terrorists out there. I mean, they can't handle people like us. I realized that when I first moved out there about 10 years ago, straight off the boat from New York. I had no idea there was a place where people didn't speak up and call people on their bullshit.
yeah,
Listen to this, man. My first very incident was within maybe 2 weeks of living out there. I remember specifically going to Universal Studios. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we're on one of those trams that brings you around the movie lot, with the
yep,
guy on the speaker telling you what you're looking at. Now,
yep,
check this out. I'm sitting there. The thing takes off, and these two women behind me, they must have been in their 40s or something. They're on their phone, just having a full on conversation out loud to the point where nobody can hear what the guy's saying. And I'm like, is anybody going to say anything? I mean, this was going on for a good 10 minutes. I'm
yeah,
just looking around like nobody's upset about this. But I knew everyone in their head was pissed off, but these people just sit looking forward, just accepting this. And I know this isn't what they want, but they just fucking they accept it. And I'm like, do I got to be the guy who says something? See, and
yep,
my girlfriend at the time knew without me saying anything. She's like, don't do it. Don't do it.
yeah,
I'm like, no, somebody has to stop this. I didn't pay to listen to these people behind me. So I just turned around and I said, do you know where you are right now? And they
yeah,
just looked up at me and froze as if I was about to rob them. Like they couldn't fathom why I was upset. I'm like, no, seriously, do you know that nobody can hear the tour? Do you care? And the one just looks at me and goes, oh my God. And they look at each other like they just walked into a haunted house.
yeah.
I'm
Like
like,
it's your fault. You
yeah, it's
turn
my
into the
fault.
asshole.
Yeah, I'm the
But
asshole. I'm like, hang up the phone or get off the tram. You're obviously oblivious. And then they end up closing the phone and they didn't say a word. Now I'm expecting a standing ovation from everybody on this tram, right?
right,
And
right,
you know
right.
what I get?
Yeah, right.
I get 2 claps. There's 100 people on this thing. Everyone heard this, and I just said right out loud, 2 claps. I'm like, I saved the tour. I'm like,
Right.
everyone's scared to offend the people who don't give a shit about you, tolerant of the intolerant. I'm like, now I want the girls to talk on the phone.
Last time I saw Bob Dylan in concert,
Yeah,
I've heard that he's done this before. It was at the Hollywood Bowl.
yeah,
The bowl's tight. It's nice and comfy, right? If
yeah,
he's singing a quiet song, he saw some people in one of the boxes, in the lower boxes. They were talking. They weren't listening to him.
yeah.
He dropped the mic. He walked off stage. The show was over. The show was
Really?
over. He was
No
done.
shit.
He didn't come back on. They didn't make a fucking announcement. He was done. He was done.
You
And
know, go
like,
ahead.
but that's fucking. And I remember at the time thinking like, man, that was fucking pretty aggressive. But
Yeah,
now it's like that's the only way you can ever do it and deal with it. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I got tickets for my parents a bunch of years ago to go see him somewhere in Connecticut, and they told me that he wouldn't say anything to the audience. He just comes out, does this
Yeah.
song, and when the song's over, he just kind of like goes back into the shadows and waits and
Yes.
comes back, and that's it. And he leaves, no thank you. He just
Yep.
does his job and goodbye. I think he's just completely checked out from
Yep.
everything, you know?
Yep. 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 It's amazing. No, but yeah, I guess you have the gene where you can't sit back and watch the people, the animals act
Yeah.
like animals, or
Oh,
you join it, or you just. I think that's why people are resonating with characters like ourselves who are kind
right.
of trying to fight back. That's really the way it comes down to,
W-
because I think most people have the right thought in their head. you know? They
Yeah.
know and they want to say something, but they're afraid. Everyone's afraid now.
They
Everyone's
are.
afraid.
I don't think they realize though that when you hold people accountable for their actions, I know it's so unpopular, but like, did they realize the improvement of our quality of life that would come from everyone banding together and not allowing certain behavior? Once again, public shaming. It's like we don't want to promote that because we feel like we're like above that because it's like we kind of got to go down to their level, which is where it's kind of taught to not go and stoop to people's level. But it's like you can't talk sense into a caveman. You know what I
No.
mean? It's like at some point you really do got to treat him like a pet or something. You know what I mean?
But also in New York, like, let's say 15 years ago. 15 years ago, if a bunch of hooligans ran into a deli to like stab a kid with a machete,
Yeah.
you'd see fucking New Yorkers coming out of
Oh
they'd be
yeah.
crawling out of the subway to
Yeah.
get their shot in. Now,
Absolutely.
people run the opposite direction because one, they think no one trusts the cops because who knows, you'll get arrested for fucking trying to save somebody because the cops are nowhere to be found.
Uh,
And there's no trust in the city. That city is a fucking toilet.
I
It is a
can't
toilet.
I can't even picture it, just growing up there and living most of my life out there. I'm really interested to see what it's going to be like for me to go back and experience a whole like it's just flipped upside down. It's sounds heartbreaking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you either just say, you know what, fuck it. I like it's
Yeah.
every man for themselves, and like
Yeah.
I can take care of myself. But if I see some woman get thrown in front of a subway train in Union Square at 3 in the afternoon, I'm just gonna chill. Like
Yeah.
that's how bad it is. That
Uh,
is how bad New York City is.
I can't believe it, man. Have you had any incidents in LA?
I've had a couple of people. They all wear masks out here, even outdoors.
Okay.
Everyone's like, the Democrats out here make New York Democrats look like Republicans. I mean,
Really?
yeah, and so somebody will tell me to put a mask on. Like, I just moved to a neighborhood. Some woman, I
Mm-hmm.
was in my driveway. I was cleaning the driveway. Okay, she's walking past me on the street,
Yeah.
and she shoots her mouth off, asking me. I guess nobody wears masks anymore,
Yeah.
and like. So first of all, I'm in my driveway,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So I said, lady, listen, this is how we're going to do this. I'm new to the neighborhood. You
Right.
just introduced me.
Yeah.
Every time you walk by me, I'm going to tell you to keep focusing on how to get your big fat ass up the hill
There you go.
without rolling down it.
Good.
And that's what's going to happen every single time you walk by me. So
Yeah.
now, if you live here for 15 years and I live here for 15 years, every time you see me, I'm going to tell you to focus on how to get your big fat ass up to the top of the hill. That's
Uh,
what you just fucking brought on upon yourself.
uh,
That's how I deal with these people.
Good. LA doesn't deserve you, man. They just don't. Oh man. Switching subjects, man. One thing I wanted to ask you is, how is it that as long as you're playing hockey, you're legally allowed to have a full-on fist fight without getting arrested? Like no
It's
other sport, industry, job, or any scenario really are you allowed legally to beat the shit out of someone. I'm only bringing this up because I've always been curious about that.
it's the only job and or sport that you're allowed to beat somebody up with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Even so, boxing and UFC, they still wear gloves.
Yeah.
We're allowed to fight with it's bare knuckle
I
fighting,
fucking
and you
love
can,
that.
and it's kind of like this beautiful thing about the game that obviously it doesn't happen as much as it used to. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you think about it, hockey players, hockey in general, you can fight bare knuckle, and you're allowed to fight until the other guy gets fucked up. Till you, it's like once somebody gets dropped, that's when they
Yeah.
break it up. It's a beautiful
It's
thing.
awesome. I always wondered, like, is there some loophole in the law that says as long as you're on ice skates, you can assault someone if you have a problem with them? I wish I would have known that. Like, I could have settled so many disputes with people if I just brought them to the ice rink and beat their ass without getting arrested every time. I
Yep.
mean, maybe
Yep.
there is some kind of loophole. They just figured
Yeah.
no one would be able to, like, be sturdy on skates, but then you guys figured it out, and it's not even a problem, you know? But
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. No, that would be good. You could, I think even now,
yeah,
uh, kids, like, who knows what kids are allowed to do? Like fighting when we were kids, like
yeah,
sometimes you had to fight. Now
yeah.
you fight, you get kicked out of school,
Oh,
you get fucking thrown off Facebook, you
yeah.
get, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how I would have dealt with it because I mean, the only thing I ever got in trouble for as a kid was fighting because I was like a small, skinny kid, and my dad always taught me to protect myself. I mean, I remember being in the kitchen with my dad going into middle school, and he said, you know, you're a little guy, and he goes, you're gonna run into some trouble. There's gonna be some people might want to pick on you, whatever. He goes, you make sure that when that guy picks on you, you make sure that the whole school's watching, even the
Yeah,
teachers, and just pop him as hard as you can in his face to send a message like this kid's gonna fight back, you know? And
I,
it's like, what would happen today with that?
well, I would love a time machine to go back in time and first of all, really take care of all the loser bullies that, now I can see where they've ended up in their life,
Right.
or some of the fucking kids that I went to school with that are now grown up and trying to be influencers. And I
Yeah.
wish I could just take the
Uh,
time machine back and go, listen, in 10 in 15 years, you're going to do this. And
yeah.
this is you're going to embarrass and define you as a person for the rest of your life. You,
Yeah.
you a TikTok star, you are going to add nothing to civilization, to humanity. You're going
Yeah.
to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to fill up your like jar, whatever the fuck you
Yeah.
need to fill up, but you have no talent. You are
Yeah,
talentless.
I made a whole video. My last video was about people eating dinner on video, millions of
Right.
views. And it's like, what kind of legacy are these people living behind? Like, are they going to be proud of this and talk to their grandkids about this? It's absurd. And that leads to my next question. I want to ask you, and as a segue, it's like, what is it like being a dad, number one? And number two, it's like, do you think about these conversations that you're going to have with this kid to prepare them for this craziness? Do you think
Absolutely. I
about
mean,
this?
yeah, I mean, God knows where we're going to be in 10 years,
Yeah,
but um, yeah, first of all, it's like I don't even think about, okay, he's not getting a cell phone. I think about
yeah,
he's going to feel what's right and what's not right. Like,
yeah,
if he sees me acting like he's never going to see me on TikTok. He's never going to get thrown into a pile of pillows and think that that's okay.
right.
Like, I have
Yeah,
real conversations with him. He's 6 months old, and I can see he's retaining information. Like, I used to think before I had a son, okay, he's not getting a cell phone until a certain age.
right.
That's all bullshit.
Yeah,
You can't protect them from all of the idiots and the fucking assholes around them. You got to build them from the inside out so that they know this shit's not normal. Like,
yeah,
I'm going a different way. I'm interested in real stuff. That's why
yeah,
the thing with the videos of people eating, the fact that millions of people watch that,
yeah.
I want to know who those millions of people are. I
Same.
want to put them in a fucking auditorium and have a conversation with them. I just need a mic. I need 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I need to just lay them all on their back.
I'm going to start doing that on a small scale. Like, I want to start reaching out to some of these people, just everyday people, just a viewer of that channel, and go, "Would you like to come on this show?" And just analyze, like, what are you doing? I just want to know. I want
Yeah.
to know what is your thought process.
Yeah, no
Is.
judgment.
No,
Just like,
no.
what were you doing at that time that you had minutes to burn
Yeah.
watching that video?
Because we obviously don't understand, and there's millions of you guys, so we might not know. We might be missing something here, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
No, I think that's the thing that we always talk about is like
yeah,
not coming from a place of judgment, but I'd really like to know like what's going on in your life that you find that interesting. One,
yeah,
two, have the time to watch that, And do you know that there's other things that could maybe get you excited,
Yeah.
or no? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it has to do with their support system and their environment,
Right.
whatever. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know, but
No, it's funny. I want to say one other. I heard
yep.
Seth Rogen on Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean. I can't remember. I always forget the gay guy's name, which I can do because I'm very pro gay. Everyone knows that. But anyways, they were talking to Seth Rogen, and Rogan was like, there should be tests for parents. Parents,
Yeah.
you should have to take a test before you're allowed to have a child.
I agree.
And I think that could actually be true. Like,
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice, right? Like, everyone should be able to have children, but you should be able to. You should have like some fucking. You should have a brain, or I
Yeah.
don't know, some sort of responsibility gene inside of
And
you.
what about a basic IQ test to start? You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like, do you know how
Yep.
serious that is, bringing a kid into the world? And you're responsible for how you raise that child and program that child. I mean, like, if you're just a zero and your kid's running around your house and you don't teach them anything. I mean, like, we got to live amongst you. They're just going to cause chaos in the world. And it's like, it's like, for some reason, this personal accountability thing is not popular. It always boils down to that.
You know why? Because also,
Why?
like, think about it, if you're a teacher, like, you can't teach children now.
Yeah.
You just have to invite children to learn. You can't give your opinion on anything.
Yeah.
You can't lean into an opinion.
Right.
All of a sudden, you'll have fucking 25 parents attacking you on a Facebook page, and now you've lost your job.
See, I don't even
You know
think
what I
about
mean?
that. You're right, man. It's a new
It goes
element.
so deep. Yeah, it goes so deep. It's so layered. There's not enough people that have balls to be trailblazers or to, like, I don't know. There's not enough Dylans in the world.
Right.
There really isn't.
Well, look, man, what are you working on? What projects can we expect from you in 2021?
I just booked this FX show in Boston in February, which is going to be fun. I mean, dude, the industry is like, I'm just working on my podcast.
Yep.
I do a lot of cameos, which are fun.
Yep.
And but fuck, we're getting worse. I mean, we're in 2021. They told us 2 weeks they were going to flatten the curve.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Like,
yeah,
it is out of control. This fucking vaccine, I see people that are getting the vaccine that are getting sick.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, yeah, the vaccine, they didn't get the second part of the vaccine.
Right.
I guarantee you, people that get the vaccine are going to start getting sick.
Well,
this vaccine is not going to work.
Yeah.
I promise.
I mean, usually, what do they say? It takes 10 years on average to develop a vaccine. I mean, this thing came out in a year with a virus that they don't fully understand completely, and they're talking about mutations. I was like, it's kind of scary, Like, I know me personally, if I'm gonna get it, I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait. I gotta see what happens to these people. I mean, I know it sounds morbid, but it's like, I don't think that's quite a rational decision. Just jump on this experimental vaccine. That's just my opinion. But
dude, I'm not going near it.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it. You got a New Year's resolution?
Fuck.
I put you on the spot.
No,
just be the same. I don't think you need to change anything about you, dude.
I appreciate that. And I can't think of anything that I want to work on.
Because you might fuck it up, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean? But look, man, thanks so much for coming on, man. I love talking to you, and if I ever start a militia of some sort, I want you to be the general of the on the ground foot soldiers, like the fucking Canadian Batman leading the guardian angels of the streets.
Dude,
are you in?
I'm there.
All right,
I'm fucking in.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Look, man, have a good one, man. I'll talk to you
brother.
soon. All right, man.
Yeah, man.
Have a good night.
Good job. Keep going.
All right, folks, I'm getting out of here. Thanks for listening. And just a reminder, if you live in LA, be forewarned, Sean Avery is patrolling the streets of LA now, so behave yourself or you'll get a hockey stick up your ass. Bye, everybody.